r/AskReddit. What's the worst sex education advice you received at school? The STD talk during my middle school's health class comprised of a vague video showing a paintbrush dipping into various paints, one after another, until there was a messy smear of colors everywhere. The advice was, verbatim, "Girls, don't let other people's paint get anywhere near you." Art class afterwards was real fun though. I knew this genius at school from the football team who I once heard saying, "Yes, oh, if you finish inside a girl, try your hardest to pee in her. The acidity of pee will kill the sperm." Fortunately we were in anatomy class and my teacher heard it too. She gave us a quick and actual sex education class right there and then. I had no sex education. Not from parents or school. Our school's excuse for sex education was a 1-hour presentation where the girls and boys were separated. Girls were taught about periods, what an STD was, and how pregnancy happens. Nothing about actual sex. Nothing about men's bodies. Nothing about safe sex. Nothing about birth control. I had never heard of a clitoris until I was 14. Thank God for the internet. Seriously, I don't know what I would have done. I'm 24 and when I was a freshman in high school my health teacher legit told us that women could get pregnant by just sleeping naked next to a man. She told us of her best friend who never had sex but kissed and hugged a man naked and got pregnant. I mentioned my age because that kind of batshit crazy take on sex education seemed outdated to us, and it was relatively recent. It was a public school too, BTW. The sex education I had in school consisted entirely of a 20-minute video in 3rd or 4th grade that basically amounted to sometimes you'll pee your pants when you're asleep, but it's not pee. This is normal, and in health class we had a unit on STDs. Not like how to prevent, treat them, but wow, this sucks. Look at all those rashes and hives you can get. So I'd say the worst sex education advice I received at school was n/er. Our teacher told us all the different types of sex, oral/vaginal/anal, and some girl asked him if finger banging counted as sex. He said, "No, it doesn't." The girl then proudly proclaimed that she was still a virgin. That was grade 5, folks. That men had to be circumcised before having sex, or the foreskin would rip, leading to all kinds of infections, permanent injury, or even death. Edit. For all the unlucky enough men commenting about their frenulum ripping, that's not what I'm talking about. It sucks, it's incredibly painful, and it's a very real danger, but it is not what I was told was going to happen to my penis. This was an adult male science teacher telling a bunch of 11 and 12-year boys that if they tried to have sex without getting circumcised, that their foreskin was going to rip in half like a banana peel and they were either going to become impotent, get a gangrene of the dick, or bleed to death as a result. Edit 2. Thanks for the reward. It's my first one. Is that a little COVID mask? That's cute. Thanks. Condoms are worthless, so don't bother. This was at a public school in an abstinence-only state. The statistics they gave us were that condoms fail 16% of the time because there are tiny pores in them, and sometimes human sperm can swim through those pores. The HIV virus is 100% smaller than a human sperm, so how often do you think it can get through those pores? As an adult I found out that these BS claims are based on lambskin condoms, which actually say right on the package that they are not recommended for the prevention of disease because they do, in fact, have microscopic pores in them. But like, I don't even know where you would get these condoms. All the ones I've ever seen in a store are latex, which has no pores, and are far from useless. In HS, we were allowed to write down questions before the class started, and they would be read without identifying us. My question was, will we be learning safe sex for gay/lesbian relationships? My teacher looked uncomfortable and basically said no, because the state guidelines wouldn't allow him to talk about those kind of relationships and only heterosexual relationships. Basically it was the worst advice cause we never got it. Did anyone else get the tape thing? My teacher took 2 pieces of duct tape and stuck them to her sleeves. She would then peel them off and restick them to her sleeves, getting the backside of the tape more linty each time. She said that the pieces of tape were people, and every time she put them on her sleeve it represented them having sex with a different person. Eventually when she put them together they didn't stick very well from all shirt fibers, and this meant they were so emotionally disconnected they couldn't form a lasting bond. So don't have sex or you'll be a broken shell of a person unable to love. The worst advice I got was during an activity about pro-life/pro-choice. 5 girls including myself sat in a line and were given different life scenarios and if we would keep a child. Mine was getting pregnant during a one-night stand while being a freshman in college, and that I would have complications because of health-related reasons. I said I would have aborted because of the college, financial, and health issues. My teacher continues to grill me on why I would make that decision. Finally she said to me, "You would likely be able to triumph any medical challenges and there are organizations and your parents could help you raise the child. A new child is a gift and the most important thing a woman could ask for." We got separated. Girls in one room and boys in another. And proceeded to tell us girls it will hurt no matter what, and we have to be the careful ones with contraception and standard contraction. Whilst the boys got "It's cool, you're fine." Luckily my mum and I are close, so having that talk was a lot more insightful and easier than the shit they gave us at school. We played a board game in high school health class where essentially you landed on a space, were given a sexual situation, and if you chose to engage in the sexual situation, you would have to take a card, which we quickly learned all had graphic pictures of stees on them. My situation was that I, a very obviously gay 17-year-old, was watching a movie with my very real, very heterosexual boyfriend, and cuddling under a blanket. So should I keep my hands above the blanket, or should I put my hands below the blanket with him? I obviously picked hands above the blanket, because I really didn't want to see a picture of herpes at 10 in the morning. But, you know, all those hand jobs in monogamous relationships that led to you getting an ST. I was in 7th grade sex education a long time ago, and we were having a test. One question was along the lines of how does a female not get raped, or something to that effect. The answers were A. Don't walk alone at night. B. Don't wear revealing clothes. C. Don't talk to strangers. D. All of the above. I wrote in E. There shouldn't be a reason, and got it wrong. Somewhat related, but the first girl I started doing stuff with in high school made me wear a condom while giving me a hand job. She made it out to be like it was the normal thing to do, and I guess it made sense because it meant cum didn't go flying everywhere. However, it made things really awkward with the next girl I was with, and I pulled out a condom when she was playing with me. She was like, "Whoa, I'm not ready to have sex with you yet." I then explained that I wasn't trying to mean that, and I just thought it was normal to put a condom on for a hand job. She informed me that it was not, and it was a bit weird. Totally killed the mood, and she left right after the movie we were watching ended.